Okay, so today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Deane Jessep, who is the New Zealand Regional Manager for 8x8, and we also have Brendan Maree, who is the ANZ Vice President of 8x8. So 8x8 is a provider of integrated cloud, phone, meeting, collaboration, and contact center as a service solutions, and has a global network with offices all over the world. So welcome to you both.
Thanks, Nick. Pleasure.
Thanks, Nick. Look forward to it.
Yeah, all good. So to start, can you tell me about 8x8 and what infrastructure or resources do you have in the ANZ market?
That's a good question to start off with, Nick. As I say to most of the staff of late, I believe we have all the building blocks, if you like, in place now across the board. So servicing the region quite well, not just from obviously a sales perspective and marketing, but having a support centre in Sydney, project managers, implementation engineers, and across the board. If you look at every business, every function is in place, and it's really setting us up for some strong growth. And we've achieved quite a lot of wins in this region and some very large brand name customers. I'd leave those to Deane to mention specifically to New Zealand during your chat. But yeah, it's if you look at a business and what you need for it to function, I firmly believe we, some 3 years later and having started here with 3 staff, we are in a great position to capitalise now.
Yeah, right. And you talk about growth in New Zealand. So could you tell me how fast exactly 8x8 is growing in New Zealand?
Yeah, look, in New Zealand, we obviously started there remotely, but have had resellers there for the past 4 years. Then we hired Deane. We then hired another staff member there, but also looking to hire 2 more to New Zealand specifically. But if you look at ANZ as a whole region, last year, February, we were around about 7 staff. Today, we are 36. So the growth's been rapid and phenomenal. And, we always have the market commenting that out of all the cloud vendors in this space that have come here of late, we have by far the most staff. And, it's testament to the mothership over in the US in Silicon Valley. They continue to invest. And as we grow in New Zealand, we'll continue to add more staff and specifically across the region as well.
Right, yeah. And so for an IT manager that hasn't worked with you guys before, what are your key products and offerings?
Look, we obviously cover UC and CC, but we also video applications, which is what you're talking to us on now, 8x8 meetings. And a year ago, we acquired a platform as a service company, which now allows us to also play in the upper end where some people still want to customize and build their own tools. But essentially, we service the entire communication stack and also a tier 2 telco globally with working with about 106 underlying telcos. So we do the end-to-end communications. And in this time, and we don't have any hardware on site. So during this time, we're all in, unfortunately, this time. There are winners and losers, and we're one of the winners by design of the technology. And a lot of our customers are benefiting from that have invested even before the pandemic. They simply just picked up and went home. So if IT managers or C-level executives are looking for digital transformation and work from home and those type of things, then we service the entire communication stack.
Yeah, I think I'll add to that. For New Zealand, one of the great things about the 8x8 product is that we were born in the cloud. Actually, the company was founded in 1987, been around a really long time. Started as a silicon chip manufacturer working in the communications space, and over time we've added more and more capabilities to our cloud platform. I always talk about the born in the cloud, and I think it's really important to New Zealand because if you look at most of our competitors in the market, they started out as single solution vendors in one particular vertical of communications, and most of the time their products have been pivoted to the cloud by taking what was essentially an on-premise solution and moving up there. And of course, for New Zealand, we're a really remote country, and cloud offerings work really, really well in a place like New Zealand because it brings us up to feature parity with the rest of the world. And so, if you look at the 8x8 offering, as we've added it, we're at the point where we've got unified communications, contact center, video collaboration communications, like Brendan pointed out, this platform we're on right now. And a quick anecdote on this platform. This platform has 21 million active users on it right now. At the beginning of this year, it was 165,000 active users. So you can see just in video collaboration, the insane rapid growth. We have integration stacks. One of the things about being in the cloud is you build something for one customer. In essence, you build it for all customers. So our native integrations are out-of-the-box integrations with systems of record, so CRMs and service desk tools. We don't charge for those integrations. We work out of the box with a huge number of them. We've been growing in New Zealand. We've been here about 5 years. I've been here 2 since Brendan brought me on, and we've been selling through channel. I think we're at the point where we're well past the easy to count number of clients. Last time I counted was about a year ago. It was more than 300 customers. And one of our biggest customers globally has 47,000 users on our platform, and 2,000 contact center users on our platform. That customer's actually got 2,000 seats here in New Zealand. So our branch of one of our biggest global customers is bigger than most of the deployments that our competitors have. It's a completely different way of looking at things.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about your clients. So on a specific level, could you tell me what one of your favorite or most memorable client projects was?
This one's easy, and Brendan knows them well as well. So we recently, about 4.5 months ago, turned on a solution for the Jones family business, who are a New Zealand appliance whiteware provider. They started the journey with us looking to upgrade their previous legacy on-premise PBX and call center with something a little bit more interesting. That conversation started about November last year. We quickly closed on a really good solution for them. They operate the Kitchen Things brand of retail stores around New Zealand, and they're a real premium storefront type business. But they also had a servicing business and an appliance distribution business. We did a lot of design with them. We really got into how we're going to take them through this phase of digital transformation to a proper digital workplace. And right in the middle of the getting ready to hit the go button, the COVID-19 pandemic happened, and their stores were, of course, shut overnight. And we worked together to pivot, and it's my absolute favorite client because we stood a contact center up for them in a weekend. The discovery call was on a Sunday. The solution was up and running on the Monday afternoon, and the sales reps that were traditionally sitting in the stores or working in the stores joined our call center queue remotely, started doing essential appliance, fridges and stoves, things that people needed to survive while they were in lockdown. They started doing the sales and the servicing and the maintenance communications with their clients entirely remotely, flexibly. And favorite client or favorite project since I've been at 8x8, because we did not deploy what we planned to at all. Yet they kept operating and operated right through the lockdown, and then coming out of the lockdown, we've started to transition towards what we were originally intending for a digital transformation, and they're doing really well. I won't talk to the business. I'm actually interviewing James at the CIO Summit. That's the Chief Technology Officer from Jones Family Business in a couple of weeks. And if anyone's there and they want to see that interview, he'll talk a lot more about their business and their growth and their survival. But for me, my job is to help people communicate better with each other and their customers. And there is just not a single better project to exemplify what we can do than that one.
Cool. Yeah. And if a partner or enterprise end user would want to engage with 8x8, what's the best way?
So there's lots of ways, but if it's an end user, the simplest solution is to go to 8x8.com/au and just register for a contact. And if it's a New Zealand customer, I'll be in touch. You can find me on LinkedIn, Deane Jessep. I have an E on the end of my name, so I'm particularly easy to find on LinkedIn, and you can send me a message or ping me. If you are more interested or you'd like to engage with some of our channel partners, then we've got a fairly broad channel. Ingram Micro is our distributor here in New Zealand, and we've got a number of providers like Connect NZ, Datacom, SoftSource, Cube ICT, Image Text, Development IT, the list goes on, who sell our solutions. So if you already have a relationship with one of those, just reach out to your account manager and ask to have a look at the 8x8 solution.
Yeah, right. And how do other companies become partners with 8x8?
So there's a pretty broad channel model that we've got. So you can find details about 8x8 by just going to partner.8x8.com. There is a channel manager who works with Brendan looking after ANZ called Michelle Marlin. You can find Michelle on LinkedIn. She's a great place to start if you want to engage to become a channel partner. But if you already are an IT company and you purchase solutions from Ingram Micro, reach out to the Ingram Micro IMUC team, led by Danny Meadows. There's a number of other people in that group. Reach out to them, ask to speak to them through your Ingram account manager, and they'll connect you up with our channel team and myself to enable you as a partner.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. That concludes today's 10-minute IT Jam with 8x8. Thank you, Deane and Brendan, for coming on today.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having us. Pleasure.
Thanks, Nick.